Hey, this is Pastor Bunjee Garrett, and I want to take this opportunity to present you with another word of encouragement. Well, in case you haven't heard already, then you might be thrilled to know that at least 50,000 babies have been saved since the U.S. Supreme Court issued the Dobbs decision, which effectively overturned Roe v. Wade. According to one report, which was created by a pro-choice organization called the Society of Family Planning, there was an average of 5,377 fewer abortions throughout the United States each month in the 6 months that followed that Dobbs decision. This, of course, includes the 13 states where bans on abortions have resulted in a monthly average of 7,235 fewer abortions. And listen, if these numbers hold true for the first 3 months of 2023, well, we can rejoice in knowing that there's been at least 50,000 fewer babies being aborted here in the U.S. since last June. Well, now that Florida lawmakers have approved a pro-life heartbeat bill, it was just last night when Governor Ron DeSantis signed that bill into law, thereby now making it illegal to get an abortion in Florida after the heartbeat of the baby is detected. And so we can rejoice in knowing that Florida Republicans are finally taking a serious stand against this barbaric practice, which is tantamount to infanticide. Now, it's my guess that this reduction in the number of abortions here in the U.S. doesn't fully translate to babies being born. No, instead, I would imagine that the promiscuous women in these states where abortion is now banned are finally taking a more serious stance in their birth control as they realize that a quick trip to Planned Parenthood, it's not as simple, it's not as discreet as it used to be. Not only that, but listen, we can rejoice in knowing that it was just last week when a federal judge here in Texas also suspended the FDA's approval of the abortion pill mifepristone. And in response, there was another federal judge in Washington state who immediately issued a preliminary injunction in opposition to that decision. And as a result, this case will eventually end up going before the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals and probably to the Supreme Court. As a matter of fact, as we consider the battle for this case, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland has already assured us that this abortion pill is both safe and effective. Here's how he put it, and I quote, "The FDA's expert judgment rendered over 2 decades ago that mifepristone is safe and effective." That's right. The FDA, the same federal organization that assured us that the mRNA injections are safe and effective. Yeah, this same organization, according to Merrick Garland, has already assured us that this abortion pill is both safe and effective, and not exactly. As a matter of fact, the FDA regulates this drug under a risk evaluation and mitigation strategy, which means that it's actually been classified as a dangerous drug. As a matter of fact, the FDA has required clinicians to register with a drug distributor prior to prescribing this drug. And not only that, but the FDA has also required patients to sign a specific consent form, which has been mandated until recently. That's right. It was just in January when the FDA changed these regulations by allowing this pregnancy-ending drug to be dispensed from certified pharmacies. At the same time, the pharmacy certification process is extremely difficult, and the other FDA requirements still remain in place. Clearly, things aren't as cut and dry as Merrick Garland would have us to believe. And listen, even if this drug is safe for the pregnant woman who chooses to take it, the fact remains the same that this abortion pill is 100% lethal for the baby that's already developing within the womb of their mother. And so, yeah, it's effective, but it's not safe at all for the babies who are being flushed from the safety of their mother's uterus. Well, as we consider Biden's passion to protect our children against gun violence, you would think that he would also celebrate the decision of this Texas judge who clearly wants to save unborn babies from certain death. However, President Biden has already assured us that his administration is going to fight this judge's ruling. You see, these so-called progressive people, they don't really care about saving lives any more than they care to prosecute the pedophiles found on Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs. Now, as we consider the complaints of the progressive pundits that they're already making against this Texas judge and his decision, you would think that this decision to suspend the FDA's approval of that abortion pill has somehow enslaved women by forcing them to get pregnant. This was precisely the point that Joy Reid was making last week on her MSNBC show, where she declared this, and I quote her, "Women in this country are essentially being told you are an incubator. The state owns your body the minute that you're pregnant, and there's nothing you can do and no one can turn to." I can't imagine anything closer to slavery than that. That's right. Joy Reid just compared a ban on an abortion pill to slavery. And this, despite the fact that abortion is literally one person defining another person as less than human and then taking it upon themselves to terminate the life of those they decided were less than human without having a fair trial. That's right. Abortion is effectively an unjustified lynching. Oh, and let's not forget that the founder of Planned Parenthood was a racist woman who promoted abortion as the means for her eugenic goals. Oh, don't take my word for it. Margaret Sanger actually informed us in her own autobiography that she spoke at a Ku Klux Klan rally where she encouraged eugenics by promoting, and I quote, "the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extinction of defective stocks, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization." That's right. The founder of Planned Parenthood wanted the racist Democrats who were in the KKK to promote abortion as a means for controlling the population of non-white races here in America. And now here we are, 2023, and we're watching the same political party promoting the same progressive approach to population control through abortion. And it's sad to say that people like Joy Reid are too blind to see what they're actually promoting. Think about it. The progressive leftist who wants to pass unconstitutional gun laws in order to save innocent lives, these are the same people who are enraged over the fact that at least 100 babies every single day are now being saved from abortion. Rather than celebrating this incredible news, the pro-death cult of the left, they would have us to believe that women are, missing out on some sort of God-given right to abort their unplanned pregnancies. And that just isn't the case at all. Knowing that these people have been blinded by the lies of Lucifer, it's important for us to remember that the Lord is the one who has blessed us with the ability to reproduce. Not only that, but our Creator is the one who forms every fetus within the womb of their mother. And it's for this reason that King David declared, "For you formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well." That's right. The Lord is the one who forms us within the womb of our mothers. And with that being the case, there should be no doubt that he is completely opposed to abortion. God has given no one the right to abort their babies. And we need to help the people in the progressive left to understand this truth. We should celebrate every victory against the pro-death cult. We should celebrate the 100 lives that are being saved every single day here in America since the Dobbs decision was passed. And with all of this, let's praise the one who is helping us to win this war against wickedness. I also encourage every Christian to continue standing in the strength of our Savior so that we can continue to fight this good fight of faith, and all for the glory of God.